The whole market is waiting and anticipating for Micron's earnings today. Plus, SoFi finally did it. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Very interesting day in the stock market after yesterday when we had the big sell off after the news that came out from South Korea and their unrealized capital gains, potential shenanigans that they are doing there. The market is recovering a little bit today, although right now it is in the red. But all the market is sitting and waiting to anticipating to see what is going to happen with the Micron earnings. It will give us a little bit perspective on are we in an AI bubble or not. We'll talk about SoFi stock that did something that could be very positive for SoFi stock. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out the good vibes. Smishity smash that like button and let's get into it. Please read the disclaimer. So right now, if we take a look at what's happening in the markets, we actually saw a little bit of a flipperoo here today. We started out in the green, and over the last few hours, the market has dropped. We saw SoFi that it was actually doing really good, up around 4%, but pulled back. And we did get that crossover on the 1348 EMA finally. So that was giving good momentum, but then the whole market decided to pull back. You can see here, SanDisk, Micron down about 4 or 5%, Iron down 10% here. So many stocks that were more chip related or AI related are dropping significantly here. Nvidia is at its lowest point that it's been since May 5th. We have, of course, SpaceX still at that 155 level, AMD at 509, and Intel's down, but still pretty high there. If we're looking at specific stocks that we've talked about, Marvel down again another 4% here. So right now the VIX is rising. You can see up 2%. We're very close to 20, and we even a potential crossover here on the 1348 EMA on the VIX. So that is something that we need to take into consideration and we need to watch. And it's going to be very interesting today with earnings. Maybe by the time you're even watching this, the earnings are out because I'm recording this a little bit earlier. So it's going to be very interesting. And we have a situation where gold, silver, and oil are dropping. So you can see oil is at its lowest point since basically the beginning of the Iran-US Israel war, down to 70. It could be a little bit lower because remember it was running up the whole month before, and then because there was anticipation of it happening, and then we were about 66, so it's not that far off, but it's the lowest that it's been since then. Silver is down almost 9% here today, back to where it was in December of 25. Gold also down below the 4,000 level, and this is happening while we're seeing the dollar continue to push lower, everything lower. The US index is on track to its first weekly close above the 100 moving average since February of 2025. So when the dollar strengthens, stocks and other dollar priced assets often fall as investors move towards cash. So this could be the reason why we are seeing gold and silver drop significantly today, and also stocks that have been pulling back over the last two trading days. Basically, Monday was kind of flat, but then Tuesday and Wednesday, we saw a pullback. It's not as low as we saw around Wednesday, Thursday of June, right? This was coming off the bad job numbers. So we're in a very interesting situation with the stock market. If we do see sell-off here, it could be significantly volatile and could even pull down the S&P 500 to 7,000. Is it the end of the world? No. But of course, you always want your assets to be at the high. And of course, stocks that have gone up so significantly, people are used to having, new all-time highs, new all-time highs. It doesn't last. There's always going to be stocks that have new all-time highs, but there's always, well, not always, some stocks go parabolic, but there's after the parabolic movement, there's always a pullback. Okay, so ARM also down from the high. And again, it could all these stocks could do something like this and pop back up. But it will be very interesting to see how that plays out over the next coming weeks. Now, what could be putting pressure on the crypto stock market is the Japanese yen that is crashing. It's down already to 161 per dollar, yen per dollar. Weakest since 1986, so the last 40 years. The yen is now at a situation where the Japanese government might need to step in. Japan's financial officials warned they are ready to respond, raising fears of intervention. The last yen rescue cost about 11.7 trillion yen, 73 billion likely funded through foreign reserves, including US treasuries. Reuters says Japan is reviewing its 1.3 trillion reserve war chest, putting US bonds in focus again. They raised interest rates last week by by a quarter of a percent. Remember, the Japan carry trade about a year and a half ago dropped the stock market significantly because the Japanese were so invested in the US stock markets, taking out yen in Japan on basically zero interest rate and investing in the US stock market. When they started raising interest rates, their payments started getting more expensive and they started reducing risk. As the interest rates started rising and rising, they continued to reduce risk. So that could be one of the reasons why we're seeing the market sell off today, and that's a possibility. So again, right now, our eyes are going to be watching what's going to happen with Micron. I made a whole video regarding the potential of the earnings. If you're watching this before earnings come out, and even if it's after and you want to go check that out, I'll link to it at the end of this video so you can check that out. It didn't get much traction. I don't know why. Recently, the past few videos have been, I took a few days off, and when I came back, it's like less traction from the algorithm. I don't know. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure to smash the like button, drop a comment so the algorithm knows that you like these kinds of videos, and other people that might like the same kind of content will also get shown these videos. Okay. It's very, very important. President Trump just canceled the housing bill event. President Trump cancels today new housing conference and bill signing ceremony. He said he will remain on hold until Congress passes the Save America Act, calling it national emergency priority. So that is something that also could be putting a little bit of pressure. And we also got the President Trump saying Iran has informed the U.S. that there's no tolls, insurance costs, or other charges being sought out or received by Iran on ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz. So this might also be a reason why we're seeing the oil prices drop today, and it's going to be very interesting to see what plays out. SoFi, is gotten some good news here. Wall Street Journal listed SoFi as one of the best options for starting a high yield saving account today, with emphasis on automatic contributions. So the headlines right now are good, and that's why we saw that that nice pop up there for SoFi. Of course, also the crossover on the 1348 EMA helped out. But this will be very interesting to see what is going to happen over the next coming trading days with SoFi stock. The markets are still concerned about what could potentially come with the new Fed chairman, with inflation continuing to rise, but oil prices potentially dropping. So the new Fed chairman could be not only not raising interest rates like the market is expecting, and Bank of America came out last night or the night before saying that they think that there's going to be three raises for interest rates in the next year, like towards the end of the year, 2026. But if inflation starts dropping and the job market weakens, then there's higher probability that Kevin Warsh will start reducing interest rates. Remember, well, it's not his decision. Again, it's the whole Fed committee's decision, but there's higher probability that as a community, or what's the word I'm looking for, as a collective. As a collective, they will vote to reduce interest rates if they see inflation coming down and the job market weakening. So this is going to be very interesting. And Peter Schiff says here, gold is below 4,000. A dip below 4,000 is likely. 4050. A dip below is 4,000 is likely. That actually happened since he tweeted, but not worth the wait. Silver below 60. Traders are pricing in rate hikes that may never happen. But even if they do, it will be too little, too late to slow inflation, which will rise more than rates. That's bullish for gold. He's all in on gold and silver and all that. So of course he has an interest that those assets will rise. But it's going to be very interesting to see. Now again, the Micron earnings today will give us an indication if the whole AI quote unquote bubble is about to pop, or is this going to continue? I'll just go quickly over the options. I know we'll link to it at the end of this video, but if we see the forward numbers by the CEO that are very positive, right, then we could see it pop. If it's on par or even talking about a slowdown, then we could see Micron stock dropping even if we see it beat all the numbers and have an amazing quarter, if they're talking about next quarter or towards the end of the year not being as strong as anticipated, so that could potentially drop Micron stock. So that again is something that you need to take into consideration. You need to know that that's a possibility. Okay. Don't forget to smash the like button, check out the links in the description down below, and drop a comment. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.